Good evening. The deadline has passed for Canada's two main railway companies and the union representing thousands of workers to reach a deal. Without one, engineers, conductors, and yard workers are expected to be off the job, and shipments could now be paralyzed across the country. CTV's Kathy Lee joins me now from Calgary. Kathy, what is the latest?
Marilla, we're still waiting to hear from both sides. The Canadian National Railway and Canadian Pacific Kansas City set a deadline for midnight Eastern Standard Time, and we are now past that time. But that deadline was set in order for the two sides to come together to strike a deal. And at this point, we haven't heard yet. But we are hearing that there are repercussions from a possible work stoppage. So in Toronto, in Toronto, no-go trains are on the Milton lines or in the city of Hamilton. And this is something that we have been discussing all day in terms of what could happen if there was a work stoppage. So 32,000 commuters across the country's largest cities, including Toronto, Montreal, and Vancouver, may not be able to take the train line to work or wherever they have to go because the lines, the CP lines that those trains run on, could be suspended. So there are other implications as well in terms of the economy. So this is going to impact everything from agriculture to energy to construction to manufacturing. I spoke to an Alberta farmer who needs to export his grain. This is the harvest time, one of the busiest times for farmers right now, and he needs a place to export his product to in order to make money. And one of his biggest suppliers is China. And he is worried that if there is a work stoppage, if this actually goes through, that the Chinese are going to lose some faith in him being a supplier. And this is right across the board. It's not just for people who work in agriculture as well. There is a concern, a massive concern of how this is going to impact the economy and trade. And so right now, the main issue that the two sides are trying to work out really revolve around wages and scheduling. And one side, the companies say that there has been a wage increase. There has been, scheduling amendments that make it better for the workers and to give them more work-life balance. But on the other side, we have the union that represents the employees saying that that's not the case, that the companies are still demanding concessions and they want to roll back on the working conditions. They want to roll back on fatigue management, rail safety. So these are all issues that have really been presented, and both sides have been trying to negotiate for months now and have not come to a conclusion. And like I said, Marella, we are still waiting to hear from either side as to what the decision, what kind of decision that they've come to tonight.
CTV's Kathy Lee in Calgary tonight.